Welcome back. My name is Candice Sanderson, and I want to talk today about peace. Humanity has searched for it since the beginning of time. The big question is how? How can we achieve this age old quest for world peace? I have some ideas, but first, let me tell you, these weren't my thoughts. They were shared with me by a very special team. Let me share. It started with a life altering event that not only changed how I viewed my life, but it altered my definition of life itself. You see, not so many years ago, I defined everything in a materialistic way. If I couldn't measure something with my senses, it didn't exist, at least not in my world. We could use instruments like telescopes to observe the stars or microscopes to see things at a molecular level. We have speakers and microphones to amplify sound, but this equipment is still based on our senses. And that was fine with me. It fit snugly in my belief system, neatly tucked within that comfort zone. You see, my training as a psychologist had taught me what to trust, and that was the world of the physical. Anything existing outside of the physical was based on wishful thinking, or as my training taught me to believe, pathology. I continued to live my life in that visible, tangible world of science until that became impossible. Until that one day when I no longer could do so. On that fateful morning in 2013, I learned that there was more to life than what our five senses measure. I had accidentally stepped outside of this world of physicality. I had taken a deep dive into the non-physical realms of energy, into the realms that some call spirit. Today, I know different. I know that there is more to life than what meets the eye. I've experienced it firsthand. And I've validated many of these bizarre and unexpected events that now define who I have become. On August 28th, 2013, while driving to work very early one morning, I found myself face to face with wisdom, with truth. When messages from the non-physical flooded into my awareness, without realizing it in real time, I had just taken my first steps into another life. I slipped into a new existence. I now straddled this world with one foot firmly planted in our 3D earth, while my other foot stands in the non-physical realms of energy. At first, I ignored these messages, but my clinical training soon kicked in, demanding documentation. So I took a backseat and began observing, detailing, and authenticating these communications that clearly were not from me. Each day brought more messages, offering me different perspectives on the life that I had known so well. I soon got into a routine of getting into my car early each morning, buckling my seatbelt. I'd start the engine and then I would hit record on my phone's voice memo app. The messages came in like dictation. Although the communication was telepathic, it was also very specific. The messengers told me when to start a new paragraph, what punctuation to use, how to spell and pronounce unfamiliar words. If I made a mistake, I would hear strike that, followed by the corrected wording. Without going into too much detail, the first message was about a flower, saying that it is at its peak when it opens. A plant draws energy from deep within Mother Earth, and then it ascends toward Father Sky. The message said when it is in perfect alignment with Source, it produces a beautiful flower The flower becomes a flower of energy. The message continued, saying that humans too can be flowers of energy. If we stay grounded and in alignment with the greater good, we too will blossom, reaching our greatest potential. This was really odd. Father Sky, Mother Earth, Source, those were not words in my vocabulary back then. A few days later, I received information from people who had passed away. They wanted me to share their messages with their loved ones they had left behind. This was significant on several levels, but one very important level, the messages, I realized I had data I could verify. Each day seemed to bring a different set of frequencies, a different set of lessons. I'd learned about time and how it functions. I communicated with religious icons, and most of them were not from my Christian heritage. I received messages from cosmic beings and from those who dwell in what we call the angel realms. All along, I continued to document and to verify. I wanted answers, and I received them. These messages from the non-physical realms made me question everything about life. What I had thought was true, well, it simply was not. That picture I had in the past was incomplete at best. I needed to see the entire picture. These messages, and later when the visions arrived, changed me dramatically. It seemed that each search engine hit chiseled away at the foundations of my belief system, stripping me from these comfortable values that had once defined who I was. The data showed that what I thought I had known about life was very limited. I changed. I no longer see the world through the empirical lens of science, but instead, I view life through the non-physical lens of energy. Our magnificent brains help us to function in this three-dimensional life on Earth, but my new perspective, it allowed me to step beyond this analytical framework that was a product of my brain. I soon learned about the most intelligent organ of the body. It's not the brain, it is the heart. The messengers told me the importance of the heart and how it guides us day by day. The heart is our connection to the beauty and the wonder that surrounds us. I'm referring to a field of energy, those non-physical vibrations and frequencies that connect us to true wisdom, true knowledge, and true peace. I discovered some of the mysteries and the magic that surround us, echoing the truth behind Nikola Tesla's famous quote, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." But how do we unlock these secrets? We need a key, and the answer lies within the heart. The messengers have told me and shown me that the heart is a portal to these energy fields that connect us to all that is. That non-physical realm goes by many names: spirit, soul, energy, creator, source, or perhaps you know it by a term steeped in religion. Regardless of its label, it is the heart that connects us to the subtle realm of the sacred. This is where peace abounds. Seeking answers from within was a paradigm shift for me. It was a journey outside of what had been my life for over 60 years. I stepped beyond my comfort zone and slipped into that non-physical field that my five senses had refused to acknowledge. And when I did, for the first time in my life, I experienced truth. But I had to travel outside of my 3D self to see the wisdom that lies within, where truth grows like seedlings in fertile soil. When we are in these subtle vibrations, we drop into the field and the frequencies of all that is. We understand that we are all one. We float in a sacred ocean of perfection, of immense love for self, for all. Although it might feel like at times that our journey in life is a solo trek, it is not. There is unity. We are not isolated islands afloat on the sea of life. We are life itself. Achieving peace begins on an individual level. It begins at home. As we shift from our preconceived notions that had tethered us to our 3D lives, we begin to see the larger picture. When we seek wisdom from within, opportunities and choices rise in front of us like mist after a summer's heavy rain. We learn that there is a softer and easier way to live. We can choose to act instead of reacting to the bumps in the road that life sometimes throws in our direction. When you're in the center of one of those bumps, it's difficult to see the path forward. It's so easy to feel overwhelmed. Choosing a calmer path allows for a glimpse into true wisdom. So instead of overreacting or overanalyzing, you surrender. You allow guidance to take the helm. How? Sometimes it's something just as simple as taking a few deep breaths that can offer us a different perspective. It offers a pause. It creates a sacred space that bypasses that stimulus response model that I had lived with and trusted for over 60 years. Taking a purposeful, deep breath will allow an opportunity to formulate mindful choices. It can be the first step in mastering the inner journey because it offers a doorway to the sacred. This is the way of the heart. Once you open within, your heart seeks reunion with its greater counterpart, the realm of spirit. It's the non-physical world of energy, of vibrations and frequencies of our true nature. We cannot find every answer by using our magnificent analytical brains. If we want to experience change, real change, not just for you or me, but on a global level, the answers lie within. Now, I realize this sounds counterintuitive, changing the world by changing yourself, but that is where it begins. Choosing the path of the heart guides us to peace, to wisdom. It is through the heart that we take our first steps of our inner journey, a voyage to becoming masters of our own lives. Living through the heart, we realize we never were our physical bodies. The heart leads us beyond the 5 physical senses that helped us navigate our 3D lives on earth. As we expand beyond our physical bodies, we experience a freedom greater than anything we've known. No longer tied to the world defined by our physical senses, we realize we've stepped into the realms where the secrets of the universe originate. This is where we find the subtle energy patterns of guidance with a capital G. This is where we find peace, love, and compassion. As individual fields connect with each other, we become entwined in a beautiful cycle of uplifting energy. We begin to vibrate at the same frequencies. As this entrainment occurs, we become receptive to the whispers of guidance from higher sources. It's not mystical. It is not even spiritual. It's physics. It's what Einstein referred to as spooky action at a distance. It's energy. When we extend our awareness outside of our physical bodies, we are on the same wavelength as those energy fields that surround us. We begin to understand and know that we are united. We are one. We are humanity, linked as brothers and sisters across this globe. My spontaneous opening in August 2013, during that early morning commute, was a tipping point for me. The messages created a change in my consciousness, a paradigm shift that redefined my life. As I validated the messages, every search engine hit altered my life, bringing fresh perspectives. I began to see the greater picture, and I now no longer view the world as I did before, and that has made all the difference. When we consider the vastness of the universe, it's easy to think of ourselves as small and perhaps inconsequential, but I know better. We are cogs and bolts in a giant machine called consciousness. We are not separate and individual. Instead, we are aspects of the whole, important and significant aspects. Want to test your significance? Randomly remove a few nuts and bolts from any machine and wait to see what happens. All parts work together as one to bring the machine to life. Peace, love, kindness, unity. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Within this sacred silence, breathe. Open your awareness and simply be. Look around, observe, smile, surrender. Can you feel it? It is peace. It is love. It is serenity. My opening to the non-physical realms of energy and spirit taught me the importance of the heart. I learned to trust the wisdom from within. Like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, I discovered that I held the power all along. I had always held the answers. I no longer seek answers out there. I've discovered the wisdom lies within. And the passage to this realm of inner knowledge, the heart. The heart is a portal to these extraordinary states of awareness. It connects us to all that is, to where we travel beyond the limitations imposed by the world of physicality. It's where we dip into an energy field of unity, of being one with all. This is where we uncover the secrets to the universe. It's within those vibrations of love, of wonder, of awe. It's that magical place where peace abounds. And it's there for all to experience. It's there for all to share. We've always held the wisdom. Use your heart to see truth, to seek compassion, to find peace. There can be peace on earth, and it begins with us. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, my mantra for this year is be kind. Kindness matters. Spread a little joy in your life and see how your life will change. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.